Alright, hello and welcome back to my playthrough of Oathsworn into the Deepwood. We just beat the Broodmother at her own game, killing hordes of her children in front of her. And now we are going right into the story of Chapter 2. Instructions. Open Mystery Envelope A and place its contents in the center of play. Do not place the free company marker yet. Place the Chapter 2 time track beneath the map. Take the Path A card. The mod should have set all that up. We have this nice little Chapter 2 time track. If we take too long to go here, we will get a city event. If we go here, if on Path B, go to 30.1 in the storybook. Okay, and if we have this mark uncovered at the end of the encounter, we will get an extra unique item. So we definitely want to try to do that.
Thistle vines tear at your arms as you dash by tortured tree trunks and splash through the soggy underbrush, desperate to distance yourself from the encroaching beast. You know it's there, but dare not turn to look. Don't trip. Your heart clenches as you feel the hot animal breath at your back. The weapon, where is it? The thing is gaining. The thudding footfalls pound in your ears. A rising shadow looms over you. Then, nothing. No more branches being torn behind, no more splashing. You slow, then walk and eventually stop, breathless and terrified. You look to one another. Samuel comes up. The last of you, as always. He wipes his brow and shakes his head. "It's gone," he says, adjusting his leather-strap breastplate with one hand and grabbing the wire road with the other. You return his faint smile and face back to the path. Suddenly, there is a loud, plucking thrum on the wire behind you. You turn as Samuel is pulled, screaming, into the Deepwood. Something huge surges from the trees, orange eyes flashing.
Well, that's not terrifying. Instructions. Each Oathsworn performs a survival check, difficulty 4. If all succeed, if any fail. This probably isn't going to end well. I think we're going to go with 3 dice for all of them. And roll 4 times. If anyone's below 4, we just lose. And, oh, that's a crit. Nope, 1 fails. I guess we should make sure, just roll for everybody just in case there's specifics. Another crit. Is this going to go blank too? No. So that's Morbius. Morbius succeeds. Okay, so Morbius and Kerr succeeded. If that is Morbius and Kerr succeed, just in case that's relevant. And each one that failed survival loses 1 hit point. Yay! Could be worse, I guess. I'm pretty sure the Pentient's ability to gain an Empower token triggers doing this, so hey, fun.
You dive into the cover of the woods, flailing your arms to clear the path of vines and blankets, as you suddenly find yourself lying in the straw mattress bed of the broken oak.
Did we seriously take damage in a dream? Come on now. Instructions. Place the free company marker on location 13, but do not place the location token on the city map. All Oathsworn gain a redraw token.
You look quickly around. Each of you, now startled awake, sits in blankets and pillows, damp with sweat. Some of your sheets are streaked in blood, where you have clawed your own skin. One look at each other confirms you all saw the same thing. No debate is necessary as you gather your gear and head downstairs to clear your heads. Seeing Samuel die again has shaken everyone, though it hadn't been like that the first time. No one had seen what happened to him then. One thing is sure, that was more than just an ordinary nightmare.
Okay, so we were so scared in our dream we clawed ourselves awake, I guess.
As you finish a shared plate of cheese and roots carefully prepared by innkeeper Bram, Greycane, the fableman and proprietor of the Broken Oak, works his way across the crowded room and sits himself at your table, sporting a jovial look. "I've seen corpses look better than you lot. Hell's even my ex-wife could summon a better face on a bad day, and she was a Cistercian." You wonder at how a man from a town like Bastone would ever have come to marry one of the famously religious, famously celibate people. Greycane breaks your reverie with a question. Leaning in, his countenance changes, eyes dark and voice low. Having bad dreams, are we?
Okay, our first choice of the story encounter, we can either not reply or describe the experience. We're friendly enough people, and so is the barkeep. We shall describe or experience.
Greycane nods as you detail your reliving of Samuel's death. He exhales a long, slow breath. I'd be a liar if I told you I never had bad dreams, things I've seen. But I've never had a dream that took a bite out of me. Yours is not the only strange tale I've heard in Bastone lately. People dreaming wrong, orange eyes staring back at them. Go and see Lysine, the apothecary. Let her help. Also, listen to your dreams. They're there to teach you something. The banksmith, Gamel, enters the tavern, clearly agitated. He heads to Greycane and urgently puts a 3-fingered hand on his shoulder. Greycane turns to the man, concern on his face. What is it, old friend? Tam, have you seen him? He's not come home, Gamel replies. Oh, you know what youth are like. I think you might have even been one once. With a face like that, you must have gotten yourself lost more than once, he says encouragingly to the thick-armed banksmith. Bram lets out a short laugh, clearly deciding Gamel has a face only a mother could love. Gamel eyes Bram briefly before continuing. Please, he's all I have. Of course, replied Greycane. I'll put out word for him with my contacts. Gamel nods gratefully and leaves the tavern. Greycane shakes his head. He's not the first to be looking for someone. Tam is a good one. Perhaps he has intentionally got himself lost, but my gut tells me otherwise. As the silence lingers, your eye is drawn to the window of the tavern. Staring back at you through the glass, unmoving, is Samuel, your fallen comrade, face gaunt, eyes accusing. You blink, and he is gone. As you rise from your seat, you are interrupted.
Alright, if we have Midge as our ally, we can click 1, otherwise click 2. And we did get Midge as an ally in Chapter 1. So let's see what Midge has to say.
Having appeared from nowhere, young Midge and his uncontrolled mop of hair slides easily next to Greycane. I've a message for you from High Lord Davenish himself. Got up extra early, too, to be sure I was the one that got to give it to you. I'd rather be waking than the dreams I was having last night. He wants you at the palace. I've a chance to prove myself to a new and rich client. So do me right and show him that I got you straight away. Oh, and that'll be 1 iron for the runner, he says innocently, holding out his palm.
And we have instructions. Lose 1 iron, place location token 10, and go there.
The palace has seen better days, its lustre worn away by the many thousands of lives that have trodden its halls. Bastone, like every settlement to have survived, is bursting at the seams with humanity. The presence of the Deepwood, forever ensuring space and materials, are more precious than people. Even here, the press of bodies can be felt as petitioners line the outside corridors, while, inside, hundreds of menials and servants scurry about their tasks. You are led under guard to the high hall and told to wait before an ornate double door. A master servant appears through the door and looks you up and down suspiciously.
We have 2 choices, if you have both the witch and the warden in your party, or otherwise. We have neither, so we are going with otherwise.
In the antechamber, the servant ushers you forward. Welcome, honoured guests, you are most timely. My lord awaits within. I would ask you to leave your weapons here, but I know your oath. We honour the pact. But if you must carry them, please refrain from any sudden movements. There will be crossbows trained on you at all times. This way, please. The master servant claps his hands, and double doors open, allowing you to pass. Within is a grand hall of art stone and skylights. No amber torches are needed to light this place. My Lord Davenish, may I present the Free Company from Verum? Davenish is a portly man with a tight-cropped black beard and piercing eyes. He rises from behind a long meeting table, bedecked in bowls and dishes of fine food. The rat catchers. Good. I trust you're rested. Without waiting for a reply, he continues. Your service to my town is noted, but I must ask something else of you. He looks disgustedly at the bowl of fruit set to the side of the table. and slams his fist next to it. He plucks a now crushed insect up. Cockroaches. They're everywhere. This town has an infestation. Not this kind of bug, though. Something more insidious and harder to kill. Have you heard of the Piper? You shake your heads. A cult leader. A traitor, Davnish continues. He preys on the weak-minded and draws them to him with promises of streets full of food and iron if they will but join him in overthrowing the natural order of things. His gang of thugs have been attacking my patrols and sacked several shops. He must be stopped. Without the natural order, where lords shepherd the people, the peasantry would collapse into anarchy. They cannot rule themselves, let alone others. This ignorant fool, he would doom us all. There will be blood in the streets, and it won't be on my hands. No town or city can survive a civil war with the Deepwood at the gates. So I ask you, will you break from hunting witches and bogeymen to run this man to ground? I know this is not your contract here, but I will see you are handsomely rewarded for your efforts. This town has stood for over 500 years, and never once has the line of lords broken faith with the pact. Now the town needs you. Will you break faith with it?
Some more instructions. Will you agree to hunt the Piper, or will you investigate your dreams? You will not be able to do both. I was not expecting this level of split stories from this game. I am glad it tells me I would not be able to do both. That's nice of them. If that's the case, I believe the crazy dreams are more pressing than some underworld rebellion, so I will refuse this contract. And more instructions. Take the Path B card. All Oathsworn gain a +2 Animus token.
You deny the Lord, who dismisses you angrily, and you make your way back onto the street. There is more than flesh and bone to worry about here. Some sort of shared vision is infecting your sleep. You've heard enough whispers around town to know you are not the only ones experiencing these nightmares. You thought it had been the rat killings, putting the glint of fear into passers-by. But there is still something haunting the people. You set about to finding as much as you can about the dreams of the townsfolk. There is a slow, pulsing feeling around this fear, a pendulum swinging closer and closer, the creeping doom that incessantly pricks at the corners of your mind. Something is going to happen soon. Across the street, the dead eyes of Samuel survey you as he smiles. There is the sound of a thrum on the wire road, and he is gone.
Okay, more instructions. Search for clues about the town's dreams. There is something to be learned in them. Something is going to happen today. Try to find out who, what, where, and when. Once you have found the information you seek, go to that location at the right time to try to stop whatever is about to happen. You will be rewarded if you can do this in time. Place locations 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 14, 16, 19, 20, and 24. Good lord, that's a lot of tokens. First things first, the Pentiant needs a new sword because his got eaten by a rat. So I think we're going to go to the banksmith and see about getting supplies.
The banksmith half-heartedly nods as you enter. Bad days, Gamel snorts, wiping oil from his hands on a leather towel. Worse nights, he continues, speaking to no one. Seen my boy, Tam? He asks as he tiredly gestures to his wares on display. You come and tell me the second you do, right? He's been out of sorts, screaming in the night like a witch had him. You know what I dream? A damned butcher's knife. Not one I forged, though. No workmanship to it. This thing is cruel. Now, maybe I made a few too many recently, but it's all I see. Anyway, let's move on. Do your business.
Instructions. Butcher's knife seems important. You may start a trade with the banksmith. So let's see what the banksmith has to offer. Well, he doesn't have a... Ooh, daggers. With fucking weapon things. The rogue is going to love that. We're going to go with the Falchion, as Pentiant is going to be trying to take a lot of damage. So having that extra defense every now and again should be useful. and that will cost me 2 copper. So we're down to 17. And our Kerr, the SI agent, will buy a shiv.
Upgrades, people, upgrades. That's how we make the dough.
Where to next, though? We were told that the apothecarian might know something about this. So I think we want to go to the apothecarian and maybe start getting curatives into the injury decks. And
On top of a tenement building, you find the apothecary. Her small hut is surrounded by a garden of herbs, the greens a stark contrast to the slate-black roofs and brown timbers of the rest of the town. It strikes you that there is no crowd outside. Every apothecary you have ever seen has been accompanied by a hive of people jostling to have their ills tended to. Here, there was no one. As you come closer, you see why. Hastily scrawled letters proclaim witch on the side of the hut, and its lone window is broken. Lysine sits slumped on a stool, herbs, powders, and several rocks scattered about the floor. She holds a bloody rag to her head. "Come to collect a witch?" she asks, looking up painfully. "That's what the crowds want, isn't it? If you don't, they will. I've a growing collection of rocks to tell me that." You stay alert with this woman, but you know better than most that only a handful of witch hunts actually involve a witch.
Okay, we have 2 choices. We can ask her what happened, or move straight to telling her about your dreams. Again, we're going to play this nice, and we're going to ask the poor apothecarian what happened to her.
You ask how this started, and she explains. "His name was Jared, a labourer who caught a wasting sickness. I tended to him, but try as I might, he slipped away, leaving a family of 5. His youngest says I hexed him, and that was amber to a flame." She looks up at you for the first time, a faint smile on her face at the kindness of your question. You tell her about your dreams as Grey Cane suggested. "Many who come to see me have had bad dreams, and I won't lie, I have them too. None of my remedies work on them, though. Last night I dreamt I was in the marketplace. There was no one there, though, and it was cold as the grave."
More instructions. The marketplace seems important. You may start a trade with the apothecarian. The way trades work with apothecarians is you can buy curatives that can stop you from receiving serious injuries if your character goes unconscious. When you start a trade from the apothecarian, you may buy up to 5 curative cards, each one costing an amount of iron equal to the current chapter. Whenever curatives are gained, they are placed in the injury deck, and the injury deck is shuffled. So it would have been better to do this in Chapter 1, where they were cheaper, but let's see. Since we're taking damage, we're going to buy 2. We're down to 11 iron. It said the marketplace was important, so we will go to the market on location 12.
The market square has a strange, hushed tone, and people look over their shoulders. It's evident that people have been having bad dreams here. There is a palpable pressure in the air, building to something. Angry men working long days pull carts through the street. Old women shake their heads and gossip in small clusters as they pause in the trading. The mood is tense, but whatever the pressure is, you see nothing yet.
Well, that was informative. And we have instructions. If you have not done so already, for each Oathsworn you may purchase a defense token for 1 iron each. Place location 12 back onto its location on the city map and place a time token on the track. You may return here later. That's ominous. The next one we cover up will start a city event. It said the broken knife was also, but I don't know if that's a place. There's no place marked as a broken knife. We have 16 that is unmarked, so that might be it. I mean, YOLO, we ain't got much else to go on. We're going to go 16. So I think we do the event first, since we covered up the 6th track on the thing. Immediate city event. So we're going to see if how this works. You pass a series of street hawkers and open-air bars. At one, you glimpse a woman pleading with a man for some iron for her children. It seems the man is this woman's husband. The man takes another swig from his drink and backhands the woman across the face. Do you A, hit the man, turn court over, B, teach him a lesson, turn court over, C, give her some iron, turn the court over, or D, pass on by, archive this event? We're not just gonna randomly hit people, we will teach this man a lesson, even though it's probably gonna hurt. B, he needs a lesson he won't forget. You grab the man and brand him with a strange symbol. You tell him that this is dark magic and you will find him if he does not take care of his children. Terrified, the man throws all the iron he has at the woman's feet and runs. All Oathsworn gain a battle flow token. Okay, so we are going to 16. Let's see what's in store for us.
You enter the watering hole, and more than half of the ragged patrons gather round a corner table, engaged in some game. Soon there is a shout of anguish. One man punches another in the jaw, and they are both quickly escorted past you to the street. Their loss, eh? A young man with one white eye shrugs as he clears some iron from the table. He eyes you and smiles. Care to try?
Okay, so we have two choices. We can play a round of stroll or choose a location to go to. I think we're on a bit of a time crunch, especially if I want to get that extra unique item. Although I don't know where else to freaking go. So we will go to a new location. You know what? In times of trouble, it is always good to take a step back and go to church. We will go to location 6.
Mourners line the steps of the church. A guard stands nervously at the base of the steps. You ask if he knows why everyone has gathered. Yeah, I know. I found him myself. Reverend Cuthnell. They sacrificed him on his own altar. Nothing is safe no more. You try to talk to some of the mourners. Most pay you little heed, but one suggests the apothecary may know of such things. As you leave, the crowd parts before you, but one man stands in your way. Samuel, head cocked to one side, stares at you in disappointment. You hear the loud thrum of the wire road, and Samuel is gone.
Well, we already went to the apothecarian, and she said go to the marketplace, and the marketplace ain't half shit. So, I got no idea. We'll go to location 14, the town square.
People avoid your gaze and are loath to speak to you. Those who do whisper about a witch under their breath and spit before them in protection. You hear no mention of dreams, though some do mention the odd nature of the guards as of late. Looking to the centre of the square, you see the ominous iron burning posts driven deep into the flagstones. Samuel is there leaning against one. That wry grin he used to have spread wide across his face. You blink and he is gone.
Well, whatever happens next is going to trigger something on the time track. 30.1. Hopefully the app does this automatically. But they said something weird about the guard, so maybe the stockade? No, the barracks. They have a barracks. We're going to go 5 to barracks.
There is a sense of foreboding as the orange sun sinks beneath the horizon.
I should have known this was going to happen. If you were at the marketplace or otherwise, we should have gone to the marketplace because we knew shit was going to happen. There was a time event. We lost our unique item. Oh well.
Samuel stands out in the open, head inclined as if listening to someone. He looks at you and smiles a wretched grin. He raises a finger, pointing as if to usher you towards a marketplace to show you something. This is the first time he has not withdrawn from your sight. You follow him.
And we have instructions. Add a time token to the track. Yep, no more unique item.
At the market centre, there is a crowd of people gathered around something. Parting the crowd, you find a man's body, a butcher's knife protruding from his chest. You were too late. Samuel shakes his head disapprovingly, as if to say another body now lies at your feet alongside his own. Then, with a loud thrum on the wire, he is dragged into nothing. You ask if anyone saw the murderer, and an old woman points in the direction of an alley. She went that way. Bolting for the alley, you are determined to track down this murderer. this witch, or whatever it was. It does not take long. The alley leads to the outer wall, and as you run along the straight path, you see a figure atop the wall. As you close, you realize it is a woman dressed in black, swaying in a wind no one else feels. Why is she not escaping? The question is muted as you alight the stone stairway. Samuel stands next to the woman. He leans in, whispers in her ear, and gestures out to the Deepwood, as if offering her a seat. The woman nods with a smile and steps to the edge.
Instructions? Secret decision. Set your die to 1 if you wish to try to grab the woman, or 2 to let her fall. I am not going to let this woman fall, so at least the Pentiant is going to try to grab the woman. The wall. Instructions. Each Oathsworn who decides to grab the woman performs a survival check, difficulty 5. Right, I need to actually start thinking about this then now. I'm going to say the priest and the Pentiant would have tried to grab the person. Kerr and the ranger would not have. So, Kerr, Mimatari, and Morbius are going to try to survive a survival 5. We have 2 redraws. I don't know if I'm going to use it for this chat. Well, let's see what I get first. First, Mimatari. Mimatari got 3, and Morbius. You got 3 into a crit. The priest is actually going to spend a redraw token to do the blank and hopefully get the win. And he did. Good job, Morbius. Oh, I just realized y'all couldn't see the dice rolls. Whatever, you'll have to trust me.
As the woman leans over the parapet, you grab her arm. She realizes she is no longer falling and becomes angry. Wheeling on you, she bites down on your hand hard. You instinctively let go, and she plummets from the wall.
Well, there goes that redraw token. Anyway, we have 3 choices. If you try to save her to get answers or justice, if you cannot stand by and watch another human die like that, if you try to save her because you might get a token. Oh, this game. We are going with the middle option because I do not want to see someone just jump to their damn deaths. Good lord. Instructions. All Oathsworn get a battle flow token. Haha. I am so curious what happens if you do it, if you say you only did it to get a token. Maybe that'll be the second playthrough.
You run to the wall, and, as you look over, your blood runs cold. It is not the body impaled on the spikes that shake you, but the hand reaching from the Deepwood towards it. You cannot see the creature for the trees, but the arm is immense. Roped muscles bunch under bristling fur. Claws wrap around the body and pluck it from the stake like fruit from a vine. Then, slowly, the arm is drawn back under the canopy, leaving a trail of blood in its wake. Stepping back from the edge, you rush to find the ropes. There is no time to wait till morning. Earth and root would soon drink the blood long before. That thing is responsible for what is happening to this town. You know what you must do. This is often how these things begin. You prepare to follow the blood.
And more instructions. Reveal the Encounter Special Rules board. Mark the Special Rules box for Chapter 2 on your free company sheet. Okay, so the special rules is it is a Satyr board. It rolls 5 might dice, 1 black, 2 red, 2 blue, and a defense value of 3. Ew. And has a transfix ability. Draw a hallucination card and give it to the Oathsworn with the least hallucination cards, even if triggered during a reaction. If tied, choose the furthest. The Oathsworn resolves the card effects and then keeps the hallucinations card to mark how many hallucinations they have had. If there are no cards in the hallucination deck, place a tracker token on each player board depicting the amount of hallucination cards they have. Then form a new hallucination deck using all the players' hallucination cards.
You hurry down the rope and prepare to dive into the Deepwood. Guards watch nervously from the top of the wall. Following the blood trail dragged through the underbrush is no problem for those trained in the ways of the wild. Heading deeper in, the shadows consume you, and the sound of the town quickly dies away to be replaced by an oppressive silence.
More instructions. Draw and resolve a Deepwood event card. Okay, and we get passing the mouth of a cave. You peer into the inky blackness and see something glimmer. Could it be treasure, or perhaps a fiend of some kind? There are as many tales of both being found in such places. Do you A, ignore the glimmering object and avoid the cave, turn card over, or B, investigate the glimmering object? I like shinies. Well, SI agent, the rogue, definitely likes shinies, so we're going to investigate. As you move closer, the glimmering object disappears before quickly reappearing a moment later. Suddenly, reptilian jaws burst from the darkness. Perform a round of combat against defense 6. At least once Oathsworn did not lose any. All Oathsworn gain 1 item from the deck. Sometimes in the story, the free company may get itself into a position where a fight breaks out. This is resolved by performing a single round of combat which encapsulates the results of the entire scrimmage. Each Oathsworn must draw a single attack against the enemy. Combat tokens may be used, but special abilities or item abilities may not. To perform the attack, the players draw any number of their character's might cards as depicted on their might track, up to 10 white cards. If 2 or more blanks are drawn, the attack misses and causes no damage. Otherwise, the attack hits, and the sum of all the numbers on the cards drawn is the damage dealt. If the damage dealt is equal to or more than the enemy's defense, the Oathsworn succeeds. If the damage is lower, the Oathsworn fails. Oathsworns always defeat their enemies during a round of combat that takes place during the story of a chapter. However, each Oathsworn that fails loses 1 HP, so I have to deal at least 6 damage by each of them. That seems tough. Kerr has a yellow. We need 6. God damn. We'll do it. That failed, so Kerr's going to take a damage. Doing the same thing with Chuck Norris, a ranger. That's just a miss. So she's at 4. This is not looking good. Priest is going to go red. And yeah. Great, please. Crit. The red crit into a blank. However, if I can get something off that. Okay, we're gonna redraw. Hopefully change one of these blanks into a hit so we can get some gear. We do not. And the priest takes the damage. And last, the Pentient. Please, I want some gear. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, the Pentient did it. Doesn't take damage, and since one Oathsworn did not lose one, all Oathsworn gain 1 item card each from the common item deck. Okay, so that was done. We took a lot of damage, but we'll see how it goes.
There is a gentle sobbing as you approach an open space between the trees. Weapons drawn, you crouch and shelter behind trunks as you work your way towards it. Hanging from a branch, lashed by vines that dig deep into his arms, is a young boy, struggling to catch each gulping breath. The vines above him are twisted like a rope, run through with broken weapons, pots and bones and sticks. They clatter slightly in the swaying breeze. Any motion would cause a tremendous racket. His belt has been torn and lies several feet below him in the leaves, a large black hammer still tucked into it, never drawn to fight off whatever did this to him. Tam, the banksmith's son, his half-open eyes showing the unnatural orange you saw before. He scans the woods with a hypnotic gaze, as if looking for something. The large bulk you have been following lumbers into the tree line past this clearing.
Okay, we have 3 options. 1, try to free Tam. 2, try to sneak past him. Or 3, kill Tam, ensuring his silence. Well, I'm not going to kill him, but I'm not going to free him because I'm pretty sure he's under the influence of this satyr, so we're going to try to sneak past him. And instructions, so we probably have a skill test that I'm going to fail. All Oathsworn gain a defense token. That's nice.
There are several options open to you, but which route is best to take?
More instructions. Perform a reasoning test at difficulty 4. Why does it specifically say reasoning test? Is there going to be a way where we can get buffs to that naturally? Okay, who has... Okay, Mimatari has a reasoning, has a couple of redraws left, so he's going to do the reasoning check. And he gets 4, so we are good on that.
You sneak past Tam, his eyes certainly a sentry for this creature. On the other side of the space, you find Tam has not been alone in his confinement. A macabre display of human marionettes hang contorted from numerous branches in the trees beyond. There, in the middle of them, is the beast, hunched over the broken form it carried from the wall, delicately lashing the body to a broken tree limb. Now is the time to strike. Charging from the trees, you bellow a challenge, and its ugly horned head rises. Giant orange eyes meet yours.
Instructions. If you have Mystery Chest 2, open Mystery Chest 2. If you do not, open Mystery Envelope 2. Proceed to Chapter 2, Encounter in the Encounter book. The encounter continue to epilogue. So that is it for the story 2. We will pick up next time where we try to beat down the satyr. Even though we are a little worse for where to start. Mimatari's down 1. SI agent's down 1. Chuck Norris is down 2. Hopefully that won't matter since Norris is the range character. And our priest Morbius is down 1. So, until next time, take care.